déjeuner.
Right.
And it's cashews and olives, eggs, bacon, tomatoes. In the early stages, your sense of deprivation and craving is going to be painful. So don't spare yourself.
I won't.
Eat a good, eat a breakfast that as much.
No, I will.
As much
when
as
I'm, when I, what I'll do is I'll take a couple of eggs with some olive oil. I'll do a little egg scramble with some.
Well, let me show you the breakfast I had this morning. I'm now down to 1 egg. Push the wrong button. But Rogerio made me a breakfast this morning, which was just delightful. And where is it? There's my breakfast.
It was beautiful. And how did you cook? Rogerio, how did you cook that egg this morning?
I use discrete amount of butter, and I put the egg with a little bit salt and pepper.
And a little cheese, I think, huh?
And I put the cheese over it, and when it was done underneath, I just turned over.
It's beautiful.
Huh?
Yeah, I could eat that.
And then when you're
Can I
hungry,
get Rosario too?
what?
I'm kidding.
Every time you come here, you get him.
I know.
But I don't know if you've noticed it, but you're gradually becoming a member of the team, of my team.
I've noticed that.
I'm a member of your team,
You are.
but you're a member of my team,
Got it.
and we need your help, and we aren't going to be shy about it.
I'm happy to help.
Okay, so when you're hungry, drink a whole bottle of Pellegrino.
Right.
Or have some olives. And or have some cashews.
Any kind of olives?
Any kind of olives.
Salted, unsalted, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Almonds? No almonds.
Any kind of nuts. Those are just examples
Okay.
drawn from the list the other page. Which is,
Got it. That's right.
this was to give you a sample, simple.
Well, what's nice about this, Charlie, is visually I see and I know that okay, here's my go-to if I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I have a little thing in that, perfect. I don't have to think about points. I don't have to think about.
You don't have to think about points. You don't have to think about.
Yeah.
Now here, we didn't know whether to use a 24-hour clock or this is the morning clock, and here's the afternoon clock. So it starts at noon, and then you have drink. A couple other things that we need to make a note of somewhere. One is that fasting is a good thing. You want to limit the time where you eat your main meals within an 8-hour period, if you can. Because while you're fasting, the body goes into some kind of ketosis, which you know about, and starts burning up the fat, as opposed to burning up the Twinkies.
Right. Well, it doesn't actually burn; it just stores for later.
And so, our lunch today.
Now, one thing that we have not mentioned on this are like black beans, pinto beans. Those are carbohydrates.
They are legumes.
Okay.
And they're carbohydrates, but they're legumes. And potatoes and beans are preferably no.
Got it.
Those are something that once you feel you're in control, then you can experiment of putting some things back for fun.
Got it.
But this is a boot camp.
Okay.
And so we gave examples here, but little slices of meat could work here too. Slices of steak, slices of chicken or turkey. But that you can make a very delicious lunch.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
And put down another thing on the lunch. Put down broth, not soup. Broth with meat and vegetables that is mainly clear,
Right.
but gets
Any particular kind of lettuce?
no
Doesn't matter. Any kind of lettuce.
any lettuce.
Okay, not
Go to a
not darker lettuce is better or
no no
doesn't-
no no. No.
Okay, okay,
We're taking it from the top down.
got it,
Fats, proteins,
got it.
colorful, above ground, fresh carbohydrates, and a lot of water.
Oh, vinegar. Okay, good. I can have vinegar.
And mustard too.
Ah,
Mustard and seasonings and spices and things to make it taste good. We got a tomato in there. Let's put a tomato in lunch. And then for dinner, I'm sure you know, because you know everything. You know about Adele Davis.
yeah.
I was right. Adele Davis said, eat like a king for breakfast, a prince for lunch,
Right,
and a pauper for dinner.
right.
Wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say because look at these. You got
That the body, with these diets, give your body plenty of time to digest it, and then in the morning, you're really not you're really going from 6 p.m. Around to 6 a.m. around to 1 p.m. before you're eating. There's plenty of fasting time there
Right.
for the body to digest it and
Right.
and make use of the food. But drink water before meals and during meals.
right.
But you want to drink, but
Does
water.
does the sparkling water? It doesn't matter, sparkling or plain.
Not so far as I know.
Okay,
Uh,
because I love sparkling water.
I love sparkling water too, and that's you can't. I'll show you later, but I got piles of this stuff.
I'm sure you do.
Okay, and so then get to bed
Yep.
at 10, and try to whatever your ritual is, set your iPhone up with sleep cycle. Let me show you sleep cycle. This is sleep cycle. And that was last night. Okay? I got to bed at 10:30.
Right.
It tells me right there 10:29, 23. I slept until 6:55. I slept for 8 hours and a half. I got a 91% score.
Wait, how does that score you?
I don't know, but it does.
It's Mr. Apple.
But
right?
look at this. You know how you slept I know how I slept every night.
Do you plug that in or something, or do you?
You
just,
plug it in,
Right.
put it face down on the bed,
Right.
and don't, once you go to bed, you don't look at it. You don't use the phone all night.
Right.
You,
I'm not. No, I usually just plug it in.
and
Does it have to be
I-
on the bed next to you, or can it be on a table next to you?
no, it has to be on the bed because it's the movement of the bed
Ah.
that is measuring all these things,
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
and it's really great.
So what is this? Does that mean you're
That's
really...
when I was awake,
Okay.
but I didn't turn it off.
Okay.
I didn't push. You'll see how it works.
Okay. Well, that'll be fun.
So that's the execution, and that's it.
Got it.
So what do you think?
I think it's doable. I think it's great.
Another thing that we want to put down is this is a march of 180 days, and we laid out I don't know. I got to learn how to get back into Open Recent. What's the name of the one we're in?
The last one, last slide.
Last PowerPoint. Let's just say July 14th.
It says 3D Mon PowerPoint 714
Yeah.
users. I've got 2 copies of it. This one and this one.
The same one.
So, what we've been through, we went through the whole thing about the framework,
Right.
because the framework will, I'll show you some other things around the house, but the framework for diet and nutrition is part of a 12-part personal health competency. And I want to get this slide in there, Hio, this afternoon. It's the slide of personal health competencies of the 12 kind. So that maybe even earlier up front, you see we're focusing on eating and drinking.
Right.
But there are 12 personal health things around this circle. And each one you helps the others.
Right.
So it's a virtuous cycle.
So what are the others?
And I'll show you.
Okay.
But I want those to be in these slides. And that was the first version of the prototype that Hio built in April. And you saw that link. And this is the more complicated version of it.
Right.
What we're talking about is that I've divided these 5 so that the first category, and they're like rooms, is the personal, that whole row, that whole column. And the next is social, and the next is organizational, and the next is political and governmental, and the other one is civilizational. And so this is about people, and this is about things and tools and technology, and I've grouped them the same way on the other side. And then they go from the most specific example, like a single word, up to the most abstract idea. So it's a framework that you can, it's unlike in addition to a dictionary, it's a conceptionary that lets you it gives you the positive and negative examples and relates it to others. And then the process goes that way. So we said, start out with a human being, and we're worrying about how to understand the brain, mind, and behavior with Aristotle, Darwin, and everybody. And then we got to the black box, and then we got to the white box, and then we got to the 3x3 cube, Charlie's conceptual cube. And then we got to the Charlie's conceptual castle. And then we got Charlie's conceptual city. And then we got the whole framework with it becomes a metaphor. It can be superimposed on a city. And then we're going to get organized, and then we're going to take the use cases and try to frame them the way we're doing you, with all the things I've done in the past. There are lots of papers, and these are the new things, but you're number 1. And then we did the boot camp. We looked over your passion and interests, the mission and priority, the vision and strategy, the do's and don'ts. And we're going to show these as this is versions. I think I don't know whether we should stay in versions, I think 0.3 for this set of slides and the stuff in it.
Yep.
And then have, copy 0.3.1.2, but we want to have a version for Kim. So that when we leave today, we're going to send you this PowerPoint slides with whatever changes we've been able to incorporate from our conversation.
So I can be able to reference this.
You'll have those slides.
Great.
And those slides are going to be always becoming something else.
I'm going to print them out and tape them on my refrigerator or tape them wherever I have them.
You can do whatever.
Yeah.
And and we